comes as a surprise. I am so hurt, I see heaven's light. Through the chaos, you're still on my mind. When the sky falls down, we'll make it out together. When the world ends here, we'll disappear forever. When the sky
Y'all sit back and watch me speak. About to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93. Talking mom, I'm on TV. Y'all know all I do is me. All I do is me. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and all I know, my money green. About to snap and make a scene. My cup off and make this free. My cup off and make them scream. Go back off for TMZ. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch me speak. Y'all sit back and watch. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Money long, nothing on credit. I got style, don't catch no feelings. All this bread, ain't got no lettuce. I got style, don't catch no feelings. Watch me. Watch me. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. Sit back and watch. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. Look. If it ain't got style, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. If it
cleansing natural energy made with powerful ingredients from nature. No artificial sweeteners, no sugar crash. Because life's too good for bad energy.
Hello and welcome back to the Esports Varsity 2025. It's been a long way, I know, but we are back with our best of 3 League of Legends show match. The players are ready to be called out. We are ready. Nottingham, can I get some noise for the players? Starting off with Uni of Nottingham. They were founded in 1881 at Red Brick University. Since then, they've become a pinnacle of esports. Starting off in the top lane, we have Rami Aura! Then in the jungle, we have Zima! And in the mid lane, we have Sabula! And on ADC, we have Mia! And last but not least on support, we have Nemini! And for NTU, founded in 1843, part of the official Riot Play Club, starting in top lane, it's Hazem! In the jungle, it's Hootie! And in the mid lane, making their 3rd appearance of this varsity, it's Had PX! It's the demon on the bot lane, it's Surge King! And last but not least, on support, it's Hanu-chan! The players are ready. And once more, give them a round of applause for our 2 teams. The players are ready if they'd like to make their way to their setups. And I'd like to hand over to my lovely, amazing casting partner, Chan. Take it away, buddy.
Welcome to the casting desk, everybody, and a massive thank you to our lovely host, Oliver Day. I am your name, Astrid, also known as Chan. I'll be your caster for the day, and we got 2 very interesting games happening right now. But before we get started, let's take a look at the interview to see how these players are feeling for the match.
Jason, Seb, Rami, Gabe,
Support. Django.
mid lane,
Top lane, ADC.
UoN has it in the bag. Just another match.
I think we'll win.
2-0. I think we've got a better team.
Quick 2-0 for us.
I think we're just going to go in and see what happens. If it's for us too, it's got to be me, I think.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are really, really excited here on the desk, aren't we, Chan? I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing some proper, good quality League of Legends.
I am absolutely ecstatic for this game. As we're coming up to will be the final game of this event. Very excited to see what NTU can pull out here. As we know, Uni of Nottingham has kind of been on an absolute roll
Very
right now.
dominant performance throughout this varsity, winning 3 games already. Obviously, the Marvel rivals a little bit more closer, but turning our attention to the League of Legends. Is it winnable for NTU?
Look, the odds are definitely kind of stacked against them. As we know, on the Uni of Nottingham side, we have some really good players with the top lane. They have I believe a decaying challenger in this season in the form of a Teemo One Trick, which will be interesting to see. But hey, let's turn our attention to the NTU side. They do have very good players here. You know, we've seen some Masters players coming up. 2 Masters followed with 3 Emeralds, if I'm correct.
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, well, Surge King being a really, really dominant player on that bot lane. Obviously, definitely one of the key stars coming into this for NTU. We're looking to him to really be that sort of leading light, that star shining player. Obviously, he plays a little bit of a nice variety of ADC. We've seen the bits of the Ezreal and the Kai'Sa coming in. So I think that's definitely one of the key stars for, you know, NTU coming into this. So they're probably going to play around that bot side a little bit more. Probably look for a couple early ganks, you know, we'll look for them Drakes rather than them Grubs. But I think, you know, on the opposing team, Uni of Knots, you know, they are stacked.
They
we
are,
have
absolutely.
seen, and we know a bit of player lore actually. Obviously, a top fight, well, ex-challenger, top player on that Teemo, I've heard.
Very, very scary, but hey, it is just a Teemo, so we'll like to see how they face maybe off that Teemo.
It pains me to say that there is a Teemo player here in this venue, but an ex-challenger Teemo player, that is something to be scared of on that rift.
For sure, and hey, not just Teemo as well, we also see other champions like Quinn.
Absolutely.
In the Arsenal, along with, you know, Tryndamere as well.
Tryndamere, yeah.
So definitely a scary top lane for the Uni of Nottingham side. Now, let's turn our attention to the mid lane matchup. How are we feeling?
I think coming into this, you know, obviously we know that HadPX is not a natural mid laner. He is playing a little bit out of position. You know, Hadley prefers that top side. Loves the Kench, loves the Ornn especially. Huge Ornn enjoyer. Loves a bit of that, you know, Darius, Garen, that kind of vibe. But you know, Hadley, they're such a versatile player. I've seen them play ADC, support, you know, having personal equivalent. I've seen them with the Quinn mid lane. So Quinn mid lane.
Wow.
So that's potentially
Very
something
versatile.
we will see. Absolutely. And I do have word that we are close to the draft beginning very shortly, but I'm excited to see this, Chan. I'm really looking forward to see how both teams sort of line up. Obviously, you know, I think NTU will probably look to play maybe more around that bot lane, obviously. Maybe play something more for that disengage kind of thing.
Yeah, that brings me to kind of, you know, question about what the top lane picks are going to be. Maybe less of a carrying top lane and more of a supporting one. I would like to see an Ornn today.
An Ornn,
like to see
or
an Ornn
even,
today.
to be honest, a Maokai could be quite useful, especially in the team fights. You know, I've seen this a lot of just people not really picking the obvious perfect team fighting champion that is Maokai. He's got really good engage. His ult is just fantastic in team fights when you know you're able just to CC anyone in that path. And you know, I think we can definitely see that in this game.
For sure. I'm excited to see what's up. And are we going to draft right now?
I believe we are heading to draft pretty shortly. But let's just talk a little bit more about, you know, about some of the champions we're expecting to see.
For sure. Now, jungle is a role we have not really talked about yet. I'm excited to see. Maybe I know both teams junglers, they play like I see Wukongs, Lilias, Zenzals, Vice being played in the match histories. I would like to see a Wukong today. Wukong's very strong right now.
I would love to see Wukong. If I'm not mistaken, you're very keen on the Wukong. You like playing a little bit of Wukong.
Why'd you say that? No, I do like the Wukong. I do think he has a, you know, like his kit is very good, very versatile, great at engaging and also disengaging. And also, Wukong's a great champion at peeling the ADC as well, in my opinion. They're all very good in team fights. Overall, a great champion I like to see. When there's a Wukong on my team, I always know that it's going to be all right.
Absolutely. There's good gank potential there, I think, from Wukong as well. But most forward I'm looking to is to see that top lane matchup. Obviously, Hazza, we know a little bit about him. Loves that Garen. 111 games played on Garen this season with a 50% win rate on that. And then we are obviously just experiencing a couple technical difficulties. I think I believe the client maybe crashed, but you know, it's Riot Games. It's not our fault. It always is Riot, small indie company.
And with that as well, we will be playing on the tournament patch.
Yes.
The tournament realm client, which I believe will be on 25.9. So we will see the new Iona theme map with the lovely
It is a very
blue.
pretty map, actually.
Yep,
And I
yep.
kind of like that the laws like steered into that direction a little bit, you know?
I like it. Definitely the old Dark Duel was getting a little bit old for me.
Oh, absolutely.
I love seeing some color back in again. And with the 25.9 changes, we can see changes to the Atacon, now only spawning on the form bound.
Grubs, form bound, only one form, and obviously the grubs as well.
Grubs as well,
Slight
massive
change.
changes, only
Yep.
spawning one time now, and spawning at 8 minutes instead of 6 minutes.
Rift Herald's back to normal spawn in 15 minutes.
Yep, Rift Herald is back on 15 minutes on this patch.
That makes me feel old, actually, Chad.
It does, yeah.
I remember a time where Rift Herald was at 15 minutes. There was no grubs.
Yeah.
There was no Atacon.
Yeah.
And now there's just.
And now it's really switching it up. Like jungle pathing has changed so much this
Oh,
season.
absolutely. I think
And the
like
jungle
the
timings.
role of jungle has just been made a lot more important. But I think with that, with Atacon, you've made the side lanes more important as well.
Yeah, I like the introduction of Atacon for sure. And another change to Herald as well is it's also easier to solo you. The damage reduction by itself is a little bit reduced, so maybe we'll see a little sneak on the Herald today.
Oh, potentially. I mean, to be honest, I'm expecting a lot of heavy jungle contention. You know, like I think that both sets of junglers know what's on the line. Objectives are, you know, exceedingly more important, especially now with, you know, grub spawning and, well, to be honest, a lot later and only at one time, which means you get that first emblem for that feat of strength. I'm pretty sure quite easily and a lot quicker. So that Atacon could fall into your hands a lot more efficiently.
Yeah.
So.
And with that being said, and we are in Champ Select
We are
now.
in Champ Select. Obviously, we're in ban phase 2. We'll give a little bit quick run through. Obviously, in the bot lane picks, we've had a bit of so far we've had Jin and the Talia being picked so far with the Poppy as well. So potentially that could be a Poppy top. I rather do like that actually.
Yeah, Poppy top for sure, a very good champion when it comes to you know, protecting the ADC and you know, the ult just sends people across the map. I mean, what more could you ask for? But Poppy also a good flex character as well. I do know, you know, she's been seen playing the support. I'm not sure how good she is this patch, so we'll see how the team face up. But with the bans, you can see Vayne being banned on the Uni offside. And a Kane ban as well. Interesting.
The Kane, I think that's targeted at Hoodie. Obviously, Kane is one of Hoodie's biggest junglers. Alongside that, the Theory has her getting his Garen banned. Not ideal for him. But in the meantime, though, they did ban some pretty strong picks. That getting rid of that Camille, getting rid of that Vayne.
Yeah.
And also that Teemo as well. That Teemo is gone. There is going to be no hiding and shrooms exploding out on the Rift today.
Sure, and last we got the Fiora.
Fiora coming in as well.
On the NTU side.
I think I kind of like that ban. I think Fiora causes a lot of issues, especially when she's fed. Jesus, she just will not die.
On the Garen as well, yeah, I would say Garen definitely a problematic champion, especially if he gets a lead. When he's running at you, it's scary, man.
It absolutely is. We are just waiting for the last couple of bans to come through, but obviously I like that Orianna pick. I think the Orianna mid is quite nice. Obviously, the Amumu as well.
Yeah.
Really, really good gank potential as well.
Yeah.
Level 6, just that ultimate is fantastic. I think
Amumu is good all the way around, especially again really good at protecting the ADC and creating opportunities for the ADC. Talia on the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I kind of like the engage. It's good engage.
But Talia could be a nice flex as well. Maybe see her in the mid lane, but probably not against Orianna here.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to see the Zyra. Very, very nice. I think that's going to be quite an aggressive bot
very
lane.
aggressive bot lane here, so.
That Zyra and the Callista.
Yeah.
They're just going to look forward, just going to keep trying to attack as much as possible.
Kind of like a coin flip bot lane here.
Yeah.
It's either they're going to absolutely carry the game or they're going to be
It's just going to go really, really, really bad.
You know, I probably would have liked to see maybe like a Nautilus, you know, some hook on the...
Oh, the Jax, yes! I love a bit of Jax. I know that's a really, you know, damning thing to say, but I do love a bit of Jax.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I love to see Jax.
Very fitting for the Ionia-themed Rift. I mean,
sure.
Very fitting. He is the last light of Ionia, so...
And again, I would say Jax is
a good champion here.
Good champion. Could be quite flexed as well with the Bard support.
A Bard, oh my goodness, I'm loving
I was
this.
kind of expecting Bard, and Bard support is absolutely in feeling.
So
like,
it's going to be a
good
Poppy mid, if I'm not mistaken. With the
Poppy
Jax.
mid? Or maybe a Jax mid, that's the thing, right? Like Jax
Jax mid,
can
yeah.
kind of go, Jax should even go support.
I mean, to be honest,
you know,
yeah.
if there's enough balls in him, you could go support.
Could we potentially see a bit of a AP Jax coming in?
I was gonna say that.
That,
I didn't want to curse it yet.
there is a possibility.
The runes, that's what we'll decide. Oh, Cassante.
Oh, Cassante. This is
on the
one
last
of
pick.
Hazard's favourite champions. A good 64% win rate, if I'm not mistaken, on that Cassante. Very, very good pick for them there.
And I cannot lie, as you know me, I am a filthy Cassante fan. Especially now, I would say like Cassante in solo queue, for sure he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's terrible in solo queue. Cassante has been forced into kind of like that support kind of play style, you know, playing around his E shielding. But Cassante is a very hard champion to play, very mechanically skilled, and to me, a very fun champion to watch play now because he's quite hard to execute right.
Absolutely.
And
I mean, I think we did see a couple of variations. This comp is very flexible. You can have that Tilia jungle. You can have that Poppy jungle. I mean, Poppy can play near enough 4 different positions. But we are going to see that Jax start. Now, usually, I like to see that Jax with a TP. I know, the Ignite, you plan to play a little bit more aggressive, but the TP is so good on the Jax, especially pushing them side lanes. If you got that Demolish, which you probably will have in that locker, I mean, turrets are just going to be falling. There's going to be no, pretty much any lane that's free and unoccupied. That Jax is going to be there.
Yeah, but hey, so is Cassante. Cassante is very good in the lane. He doesn't really have much counter picks, especially in a situation like this. So we'll probably see quite an equal top lane matchup coming in here. It all depends on, to me anyways, it all depends on how that Cassante feel up. But in the late game and the mid game, we'll definitely see that Cassante probably move a lot, and especially in the late game, that Cassante will be looking to peel the ADC, with the E, with the Qs, and Ws. And
absolutely,
yeah, I mean, I'm loving the draft right now. That very flexible, flexible draft, keeping the other team on the toes.
We predicted like 3 positions, and then they all just swapped.
Yeah, unpredictable at all. But here we are going into the game.
Look at this map. Is this not beautiful? Ionia, well, not my favorite place on the Rift, but definitely one of the prettiest.
Definitely one of the prettiest for sure. As is it quite cheeky little deep ward coming in here.
Indeed, we are going to see the ward, but it's going to be a bit of an early sort of fight, and that will be Zima going down. Good play by NTU, predicting that happening.
Nice catch there from Josh by the with a move hitting both of the Qs there, I believe, securing the kill for NTU.
Very, very nice indeed. Sebula just going to chill mid. Meanwhile, Hoodie and Surge King will go down to that bot lane.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness, a blue buff invade.
Completely unpredictable, wow.
But it does shoo them away, so to be honest, a trade definitely going in the favour of Uni of Knots there.
Yeah. But hey, they got a nice 2 deep wards in NCU's blue side jungle, which would be useful for the bot lane. I see it. Just shoving the wave. Quick shove here coming in.
Pretty much just going to be playing pretty slow. Obviously that bar's going to play a little bit aggressive. Hazard just getting a couple early trades in. Does have that grasp on him, so every time he does heal, he will get, well, every time he does attack his opponent, he will heal just a little bit and get a bit of permanent max health.
Sure, as to see the move, finishing up his red side. Gonna look for level 3, we'll see about that.
Potentially could go for that level 3. I don't see why not. Obviously the Jax, does have the E, does have the Q if he has a ward in him to sort of get away, but to be honest, he's not that strong early on. Definitely a scaling champion, so you can go for that early gank against him. Just a little bit of early poking.
You can see Zayma here pulling a vertical on the Mumu, taking the blue buff. Gonna be a nice little early lead there.
Both top laners just chilling.
Just chilling.
Farming.
I do believe top lane will be a very chill lane this game, but hey, you never know. You never know with a Jax and a Cassante.
They're 2 champs that just love the fight. HadPX just going to keep farming. I mean, it's pretty quiet early state of the game, actually, after that very, very early invade. Jax falling half.
See a little trading going on top lane here.
Rami Aura does have the E. Will land it, but it doesn't do that much damage early. Hazard.
Missing the Q3 there, but the W was nice to stop the stun.
Hazard will just walk forward here. You know, does definitely won that trade. Does have a little bit of an advantage over his opponent. Will take another grasp away.
Auto there. Nice.
Oh,
W on the
potentially could
stun.
follow up. The Jax E is there.
Yeah.
Does E away, but Hazard
There.
knows
Nice
he can be a bit
away.
aggressive. Doesn't have a lot of mana.
Looking to shove this wave now, Hazard, so he can get the reset there. Mana is low on him.
Nice recall. Surge King, half health, low mana. But he is there on that Amumu, just chilling pretty much. Did decide to just go for that gank, but wasn't at the right time. Does stop the back Mia, but that will be it. Very, you know, it's very passive start. You know, I think both teams are just testing the waters a little bit. Just looking to see how far they can go. Who will make the first play?
Still pretty even up here, but as we do know, that level 1 first blood going to Trent has given them a little bit of a lead. Oh, around 5k gold.
Pretty decent, actually.
No, not 5k, 500 gold.
400 gold, yeah. And they are just going to recall. Sebula still farming. Probably look to back pretty shortly after pushing this wave. Wards, a lot of wards currently on the map. Definitely favored in that bot side.
Oh yeah, that bot side is scared for the ganks.
Absolutely.
But hey, that bot lane should be scared of the ganks. You know,
True.
Very aggressive, but with not much defensive maneuvers. So I would say. The Jhin pick though, I do love seeing the Jhin pick.
I do love a bit of Jhin. Obviously, you know, when that curtain call does come online, it'll start to do a lot of damage. But I must say, it's a pretty just early sort of start. It's just very passive, very quiet, you know.
Yeah, very quiet.
I think the
typical game so far.
bit of movement in the mid lane, however. Obviously, Nemini has stepped up a little bit. Hoodie falling a little bit low. Had PX a little bit low as well. Needs to sort of back away, Hoodie. Zima's over the wall.
Here.
Will follow up with the E, but not going to be much. But that will be Zima invading, taking them walls for themselves. Good play there by Zima.
I like their aggression for sure.
Oh, the Bard flash underneath the turret. Does get the ignite, and it's followed up by Zima. Unfortunately,
bot
Nemini will go down, but you will take that if you're Uni of Knots.
Yeah, quite unfortunate there with the miss of the Q, but the ignite came in, saved the day. Zima finishing up the job.
Surge King going mid. Probably look to have a bit of that mid wave. But he needs to back it so low. Yes, he finally will. We do have that Fire Drake coming, well, online.
Yeah, it's
and
been
that's
up for a while now. Not really.
Probably going to be the next sort of play around that bot side. Had PX. Just chilling in the bot lane against that Bard and Jhin bot lane. But Nemini stepped forward. Does manage to land the Q. It's a good stun, good poke from Mia, but it's not going to be enough to secure the kill. But if we look, Zima is bot side, so they need to be really careful. But as is the rest of NTU, Surge King uses the plant, needs to get a little bit more mana back in the bar, and yes, they will.
I see some. Oh, no dragon fight going on here.
No dragon fight. Both teams just gonna back away.
Playing it very safe right now. I see Surge King and Hoodie moving up to the mid lane.
Both top laners. As that does have a little bit of that advantage. Is a level up. Good trade there.
Level
Definitely
7
winning
Jax.
them for sure, but that is a level 7 Jax.
Yeah.
Does have the ultimate online.
The Q, you know, the Q auto on Cassante is just very scary. Since Jax walks up, you know, any good Cassante would just Q auto and just so much damage on there. The W on Cassante as well. Also, great little unstoppable move against the Jax E.
Now, we are just seeing a little bit of items being bought. Obviously, we do have them Berserkers tread down in the bot lane for that Kalista, which is exactly what she would love to see.
See, Grubs spawning now.
So potentially we could see a bit of a Grubs fight. And yes, we are seeing a lot of movement in the top side. We're currently seeing that Poppy currently trying to take down that scuttle, but both bot lanes in that mid lane. Surge King just trying to clear the waves as quick as possible. They will start the grubs here. Uni of Knots.
Uni of Knots definitely a little bit playing a little bit better here.
Hazza falling low. Jack's ultimate is used. Good follow-up. Manages to back away, but goes back in and gets stunned. Potentially costly here for Hazza and will go down. Zima manages to get the kill. Good play by Nemini there.
Good play, definitely good. I would say good ult there by Hazard to get away back into the tower, but a little bit ambitious on that ult W. Going back in to try to secure a kill, but did not work out for him.
Absolutely not, and that will secure the grubs for Uni of Knots. But in the meantime, NTU does get the Drake, so it is a trade of objectives.
Yeah, for sure. And I do believe, probably, grubs is the better objective here to get, but at least they got a trade here and they didn't leave empty-handed on NTU's side. I've seen a good little lead coming in here for Zema. 2 kills up with 100 bounty. No AP Jacks though on Remy. No AP
Sadly,
Jacks.
no AP Jacks. I would love to see a bit of the Bal style play with that AP Jacks,
sure.
but it's all good. I think the next kill is important here. Obviously, that will decide one of the feats of strength.
It will.
For that Adakan. Hazza trading galore in that top lane.
No. It's all about the Q autos on Kasante.
There it is. But the E from the Jax is well timed.
Yup, well
does enable him to get a couple good hits off there. A little bit of gamesmanship. We do see the thumb emoji going in, but needs to back away. Hazza. Rami Aura just managing to get them, just find them W's. Oh, with the flash E, but it's a good ult by. Oh my goodness, what an amazing play by Hazza. Good follow-up there, just manages to land it all at the perfect time before Rami Aura can land that E. Excellent play.
That's a perfect W. That's what you like to see on Kasante. He is so dangerous around his own tower because of that Q3W pushback. And well, that was perfectly executed. That's what I like to see on Kasante.
Beautiful play by Hazza there, and that will secure NTU one of the feats of strength, the feat of warfare, going over to them.
As we do know, Feast of Strength on this patch was nerfed a little bit, but still very, very powerful.
The Taliyah Rocks used, the flash used by HadPX, but it's good engage and a good Bard ultimate from that Poppy. There's no escape for HadPX, and Zima will continue to get them kills. 3 kills on the board for them.
Close down Zima, almost pushing Seb out of the Bard ult. A little too close, but they managed to secure it.
A good play there by Zima. I think Zima has been really, really good at just somehow managing to come in at the last minute just to save them ganks and keep them alive. Really, really good play by them.
For sure, the movement around the map has been great so far on Unioff's side. For sure, I think that's where NTU needs to pick it up a little bit more.
Absolutely. We are seeing a couple objectives gonna spawn here very shortly. That Drake, a minute away from being spawned, but the gold differential heading definitely in the favor of Uni of Knots. We are going to see Buddy in the bot lane as well, alongside Hanu-chan and Surge King. Potentially could be a bit of a fight. Zima is there. They'll just look to recall.
Nicely timed there by the 2 junglers for counter gank. Definitely very protective of the bot lane on both sides, as they know bot lane's probably going to be doing most of the weightlifting here in the mid to late game, especially on that Kalista.
Indeed. Now, it's just pretty much a bit of a stalemate once again. I think both teams recognizing that, each team does have them positives and negatives to them. Obviously, we are going to see a bit of a patient style. But no, HadPX caught in the middle of no man's land. Team is there, and a good follow-up. Rami Aura does secure the kill, but manages to get the E off as well, and that will lead him to a double kill. What on earth? Out of nowhere that happened.
Perfect chain of CC there to take both of them down. Definitely a little bit of a mistimed.
Meanwhile, Hazza very, very close to getting Rami Aura, but they will back away. Unfortunately, it's just so annoying when that Poppy and that Bard come up. But unfortunately, there's going to be no escape. And Rami Aura just queues in to take that kill for themselves. Now, that is a Jax with 3 kills and an assist. He's going to start to look pretty scary now.
Yeah, Hazard definitely should have been a little bit more eager on the map there, seeing the other two players moving up to top lane. Should have fall back a little bit, but
absolutely. Now, well, that Jack's probably building towards that Trinity Force, meaning he's just gonna, once he hits you, there's gonna be no escape. He's gonna keep chasing you and keep chasing you.
K'Sante in kind of a hard position now. Definitely against this Jack, so if we can see a 200 gold shutdown coming in from him as well.
Surge King just probably knows that the only way they're really gonna sort of make an impact is just to scale, is just to play safe and just farm as much as possible. Obviously they do have a bit of that protection from Hoodie as they are bot side, but Nemeny's just been so good. The macro of this man knows no bounds. A Bard ultimate paired with the Jin curtain call. Surge King in trouble now. Hanuchan with tank 1 along with Hoodie.
What
all the
W coming in there?
No follow up from the Jin. Unfortunate there. Really, really good play by Nemeny. What a Bardle over the wall.
What an option there for Nami J as well. Hitting all 4 shots, but not managing to get off a kill. But good damage overall.
Mountain Drake spawning now, and they will look to claim this as quick as possible. NTU. Nemeny is still there, just being a constant nuisance. But look at topside.
And that damage from the Bard as well.
It does so much damage, but in the meantime, Rami Aura in the top side does manage to claim that turret, and they will just give it up here, NTU. I'm not sure if they'll be able to smite it. And it's stolen by Zima, and they'll get the kill onto Hoodie, as they need to, pretty much, they just need to back away, NTU. They've taken control of this game.
Nami there on the bar, being the perfect distraction, dealing just enough damage for the team to come in and pressure them off. That was beautifully played by the Bard, 100%.
Absolutely. Now we are going to see a couple items coming in. We want to see that Sundred Sky on that Poppy.
Earl now is online again, spawning at 15 minutes. And yeah, the top tier one did go down there during that fight, giving a bigger lead to Jax with his shutdown now coming up to his 350 gold.
Trinity Force as well for that Jax, and Iceborne Gauntlet. They're going to start to do a lot of damage here in, well, Uni of Knots as well. I mean, I think coming into this NT, they just need to play really, really safe. They've got such good engage on the side of Uni of Knots. They need to be really, really careful how they position, how they just grab a hold of this.
Yeah, I would say on the NTU side, the biggest problem right now is they're just getting out macroed by
Nemeny has just been fantastic.
It's just Nemeny. Nemeny is just running around the map, dealing so much damage on that Bard, and
Surge King needs to be really, really careful. Nemeny's there once again.
Flash away from the ult. That's that aura. Nemeny's aura.
Nemeny's aura is just too scary, and does force the flash from Surge King though, which means they are going to be probably the next target in any sort of fight after this. But in the meantime, on the top lane, Hazard tries to ult away, but it's not going to be enough. That Poppy's doing so much damage, and the follow-up from Rami Aura is there. That's 5 kills now, heading over to that Jax.
Good flash coming in there, but not enough. I do believe that ult might have been a little bit too ambitious there from Hazard. As you know, ulting on K'Sante gets rid of basically all of your resist.
Trading it needs to be careful. And that's a second. That's a tier 2 from this Jax. Rami Aura is, someone needs to gatekeep this man, honestly. You just can't leave him alone in this lane. He's got to keep pushing that wave.
Yep, his teammates called him a Emerald level player off Teemo. Maybe.
I beg to differ, actually.
Yeah,
this Jax performance is very, very strong. It's looking pretty dire in that top lane. That top side is completely in the hands of Uni of Knots, as that Rift Herald will go over to them as well, which means they're just gonna look to try and push any lane they damn well please. Most likely that mid lane, that mid tier 1 on very low HP.
Seb here on the Talia, doing good on a 0-0-4 scoreboard. Hey, not died yet.
It was a good start by NTU, but then they just fell away. They just crumbled a little bit.
Yeah. So on the rotations for the objectives, I think they were just, you know, a heartbeat too slow, missing out the timings a little bit, and you know that second dragon call earlier, a little bit ambitious, and the Bard is just I can't explain just how much this Bard is doing. Like, putting pressure all around the team.
Oh, good. Well, to be honest, that's good play by Hoodie there. Manages to just back out in time. But look at the advantage this Bard has. He's doing so much damage, but does have them Swifties and that Dead Man's Plate, which means he's able just to roam around the map as quick as possible. Ooh, but in the meantime, there's going to be a bit of battle here going on. Happy X manages to find Nemini. We do see the curtain call come out, not going to get much from that. But Rami Aura, in the meantime, did get that mid tier, sorry, the bot tier 1, which means he's got 3 turrets this game so far.
Yep, it's looking quite dire right now.
It's the Jack's dream is what it is.
You know, if we take a look at NTU side, they have yet to get a single tower. Yeah, quite dire right now, I cannot lie. The gold lead is growing, the shutdowns are building, the level gap is forming, and NTU really needs to pull something out of the pocket soon or this game is going to be over quickly.
Absolutely, they just need to grab a hold of the game, and there are ways you can do that, and that's just quite simply just to play slow, farm up, get a couple more items under your belt, and then hopefully you'll start to sort of level out the playing field. But that Jax and that Poppy are too strong at the minute.
I agree, and you know, with the towers with them being pushed so far back into the base, it's only gonna make the later games, even like the later stages of the game, even harder with objectives and stuff. As there's only been 2 dragons so far, with the 3rd one spawning right now, and NTU is not gonna have, you know, the map.
Yeah, any contest on this dragon here. Obviously, Chem Tech Drake. One of my favorite, if not the favorite, actually. That's just because I'm a tanking, bit of a tank enjoyer. You know,
I know you love your Tom Kench.
Oh, Mundo as well. The Chem Drakes go different, but in the top side, Adakan has spawn,
but no contesting coming in from NTU side.
Yeah, it just can't. It's just there's no vision. I mean, look at the vision here. The vision score is clearly in the favor of Nemini.
Hapex here just overextending again with the bot coming up.
Back away. But Hoodie's there, but it's not a fight you want to pick if you're NTU, especially when Adakan is there. Now, that will be the Union of Knots just summoning that Rift Herald in that bot lane that Jax is going to get another turret for Rami Aura this game. What on earth?
I see the NTU responding to that now.
They're probably just going to try and stop that Herald pushing, but can they really contest this tier 2 mid?
You can see the way that Unioff moves around the map is so well calculated, making pressures and putting pressures on different parts of the map to distract the NTU players, and while making the right pushes and stuff. It's lovely to see. They're playing textbook perfectly.
Absolutely. It's just very clean from Uni of Knots. They've just got good vision. They've just the map control is just insane, is what it is. I mean, I can't praise Nemini enough because look at the vision. It's all blue.
Nemi, you know, doing a great job putting on all these pressure across the map while not, you know, leaving the Jhin to himself on his own. But that's what Bard is for. Bard is for that roaming, you know, all that speed. You can kill extra chimes around the maps. And yeah, that's why I love to see Bard. Bard is always a playmaker.
Great. However, in the top side, we are going to see the flash. 2 flashes, 1 from Hoodie, but there's no escaping that Jax. The Zyra ult does come out, and it's going to be just constant bloodbath for the side of NTU. There's going to be no escape. Hazard tries to do something, but it's just not going to be enough. Does flash away, but the stun is there. What a stun! Rami Aura goes underneath the turret. There's no escape. The Bard ultimate's massive. Manages to catch 2, and that's going to be Uni of Knots finding a lot there. 5 kills on the board.
Zero
Unfortunate, 0
absolute perfect fight there. Perfect stun coming in from the Bard once again. And that's 15-4.
That, yeah. I think this potentially could be a bit of a GG's at this point. Obviously, that Adakan is going to go. The Baron's going to be up in 3 minutes. If you're Union Knots, you're chilling at this point. You are just pretty much hands off keyboard, auto attacking.
As long as they don't make some crazy mistakes, they have this game in the bag. 6 towers literally pushed back to their tier 3. It's not looking good for NTU.
not at all. Obviously, look at the bounties galore on the side of Uni of Knots. A 700 gold bounty onto Ramiura.
But 11k gold lead. 11k.
It's insane is what it is. Does have that Wits End online now, which means that attack speed is going to be through the roof with a little bit of bonus magic resist as well. Is building towards that Zonya's, so they'll be able to in as pretty much as much as they like, and obviously the bonus AP stacks in his passive.
I like that. I like that.
And the E as well, so that E is going to not only stun but deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, especially against Kalista. You know, Kalista just loves auto attacking, so that's only going to stack the damage on the Jax's E.
Absolutely. Now they are just going to move up here, just awaiting the arrival of the next Drake.
Yep, looking for
1
an
minute
opportunity now.
and 1 minute to Baron spawning as well. So this is going to be
See, this is the macro I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know, the
just look at
pressure
this, yeah.
pressure being put on the bot side of the map.
Ooh, nearly stops the recall there from Hoodie.
Oh, you can see the ult coming in from Seb, but nothing will follow with that.
Surge King just going to try and clean up as much waves as possible. They need him to get online. Does have the Bork and the Berserkers, but they need more gold.
Remy on the bot lane just causing some trouble, keeping that Cassandra occupied.
To be honest, he could just glaze the map. It wouldn't take that long. I mean, look. He's going to go back again. Try and get a bit of vision. Going to just probably poke someone. Just clear a couple wards along the way. But that's going to be a pretty much guaranteed Drake heading over to Uni of Knots. They just can't step forward here, NTU.
Uni of Knots playing on the red side of the map, playing on the NTU side of the map. That just shows how much pressure and dominance they have in this game right now. With NTU not being able to do anything to
anyone really. I mean, like you can't even deal damage to the Bard. It's looking pretty dire. Now this will be a guaranteed Drake heading over to Uni of Knots. They're looking pretty well. Meanwhile, Revenue's top side will probably look to get a little bit of vision and will try and contest that top tier 1 in the meantime.
TBA from Seb coming into the top lane. Just gonna shove that top wave more, perfect map movement there. As we see, hopefully, not looking for a fight.
No.
Not looking for a fight.
We'll probably look to reset though and prepare for that Baron.
So being smart, that's another thing I love about Unioff so far that they've shown this game. They have been very patient, even though the Jax is 10-1. You know, the scoreline is 15-4. They're not picking stupid fights. They're not forcing anything that they know could be bad. They're being patient. They're waiting for the right opportunity.
Absolutely. It's very calculated, a very calm and just methodical approach to this game, and you know it's worked out massively in their favor. A 10k gold diff already, but Hazard won't be able to do much against the Fed Jack, and the Talia's there to help out. Hazard, unfortunately, in no man's land, does try and use the ultimate. Not gonna find much, but look how much damage Ramiura is doing. It's just not gonna be close at all. 11 kills and 3 assists, nearly 200 CS. He's got so much gold, so many items under his belt.
Yeah, I'm unfortunate there from Hazard. I can tell he's you know, a good Cassandra player. He knows what to look for, the the W, ult W, dealing massive damage there. But he's just too behind right now to be impactful around the map. And he really needs to switch up his playstyle to be just more of a support to the Kalista, I believe.
Absolutely. Now, coming into this, they're just going to probably just stay back, NTU. And in the meantime, Uni of Knots are going to help themselves with free Baron. Hoodie potentially could go for a steal. He is there, but they have warded, so it probably doesn't look likely. And that Baron will be heading over to Uni of Knots. They'll probably look to end here after this quick recall. All the waves are pushed up. In the meantime, had PX in the bot lane. He's probably just going to try and clear that wave as quick as possible and maybe get a turret along the way. But it's looking pretty dire. That Jax is heading straight for that bot lane. Wants to clear that wave as quick as possible, which he can with that, with a bit of AP on that E.
Yeah, and NTU has been stuck on this side of the map for like
had PX. Needs to be careful. Remedies there. And the Poppy is as well. The Talia ultimate comes in. Happy X is going to be Falling down, but does use a shockwave. It is possible, but no, will fall down. Sebula finds them. And even after using that Zyra and that shockwave, it's just not going to be good here for NTU. Putty trying to tank, has a trying to tank, trying to stay alive, but will pay the price for this stun. But there's going to be no follow-up, no chase from UD of Knots. They're just going to look to push these waves in, clear the base turrets, and just secure themselves
Remy
a potential end. But in the meantime, Hazard pushes forward just a little bit. Sebula just needs to keep their distance, but there it is. The base turret starting to fall. The inhibitors falling as well.
Remy coming in.
Oh, Remy gory coming in, and it's just gory. This is absolute gory behavior. Honestly, this needs a rating on it. It's just pure domination from Remy. Kills galore. There's no mercy. He's gonna keep going. There's no stopping Uni of Knots now. But NTU, this is not the game to certainly remember. They need to somehow just go to the break. Just think about, just reset that mental. Remy in the spawn, pops the Zonyas, and manages to stay alive. Incredible. What a performance from Uni of Knots. What a fantastic performance from Uni of Knots. It's just
that was domination. That was just straight domination. Yep.
There's no ways of beating around the bush. It was just pure domination. Remy on that top lane. It was just so strong. So strong.
Yeah, definitely not Emerald tier player off Teemo. Come on.
Absolutely not.
Give the man some props. He absolutely did amazing that game.
Maybe they meant it the other way around. He's an Emerald player when he's on Teemo.
Maybe he is. maybe the tip is to bait him into the Teemo.
Absolutely, potentially.
Yeah. Listen out, NTU.
But what a performance from UD of Knots. I mean, the whole team was just on fire. We saw constant ganks, just constant good macro.
Yeah, the macro is
insane, actually. Honestly, you know, we talked a little bit about Remini before the cast, and we spoke about how they were a Div 1 UKL player, and that's clearly showing.
You can see in the way he plays, not just like a solo queue warrior. You know, there's that team play in him, and yeah, just I have to focus on the macro, dude. The way they move around the map and the way they create pressure on the map, and you know the way that that brings opportunities to them is so good.
Just the vision, just the objective timing, just. I just can't. Just the movement. It's the gangs. It's just everything was on point there for Uni of Knots. Now it's going to be very hard for NTU to come back from this. Obviously, what would you sort of say to them is really the play forward here? Are you going to let that Jax go into the hands again of Rami, or do you think top lane's whatever? We just have to prioritize this bot lane. We have to win that bot lane in order for a fighting chance. Let's have a look at some of the replays.
Oh, this is a level 1 kill here on Sammy. Yeah.
That was a good start for NTU. I think that's, you know, that
good cues coming in from the Mumu.
Yeah. Good cues, good plays, but HadPX, this is what a play by Zima here. Manages to get the kill last minute. Good play by Remini with the ignite. And HadPX caught in the middle of no man's land and will be punished for that. Hoodie just trying to conjure up something, but it's just not going to be it.
Crowd absolutely static. You can see a lot of Unioff supporters
They've very much enjoyed their temporary stay at the Confetti X Arena.
See, that's eager play there from the Mumu.
But look at the play here. The flash over the wall from the Jax. Sebula manages to find a kill.
They're aggressive in just the right time.
Yeah.
But passive in the right times as well to not make any stupid mistakes.
They commit at the right time, and they know when they can win a fight.
Poor Q, man, so good.
I mean, this play here, the Bard ultimate, beautiful, manages to save Zima. Just fantastic, and secures the 2 kills. What an amazing play there.
Yeah, and I think a key thing to point out there, all of the winning fights you could see was, you know, the NTU team kind of responding to the play that the Unioff team has made, right? I think, you know, Trent can definitely, they need to be more on the play-making side rather than responding to the plays being made.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I think we are going to cut to a quick short break before Game 2. So stick around, and I'll see you soon.
natural energy made with powerful ingredients from nature. No artificial sweeteners, no sugar crash. Because life's too good for bad energy.
Hello and welcome back to the Varsity 2025. We have just had our first League of Legends match, and Chan, it's been sheer domination from Union Knots.
It has been so far. I would like to see the second game. Obviously, I'm rooting for my boys at Varsity, even though they're down 3-0 right now in every single game. But I'm hoping for a little bit of a closer match the second game here. I would like to see how NTU adapts their playstyle into Union's comp, which has been very dominating. Let's take a look at, let's talk about what Union did good that game.
Yeah, I think, first of all, the macro was just on point. Like, I think that's definitely one of the biggest differentials there was Remini had like acres of space. You know, by the 15th minute mark, they were already like pretty much controlling that top side of the map, and that's not ideal, especially, you know, if you are playing towards that later game when you do have the champs like the Killers that do scale later on. That losing so hard early is just not nice.
Yeah, that early game domination, they kind of knew what they're going for. Even from the draft, like, the draft is kind of another thing I wanna touch up upon, because the NTU draft, to me, really didn't live up to expectations compared to the Union draft, you know? The Union had very creative picks there, a lot of picks that could be flexed as well. They were looking into the future. But I think NTU's draft was a little bit more linear.
Yeah.
I did like the pick of the Cassante there to play a little bit more of a protective top lane for the ADC. But the support, I really don't think Zara was the right pick. I think maybe a little bit more of a...
I think maybe just something more a little bit tanky that can sort of appeal in a sense. Like, I think a Raul would have been really good. And if if you're playing towards that more sort of disengaged kind of style, that Renata's there. You know? It's one of them things where it's just like they were more comfortable on the draft Union of Knots than what NTU were on theirs.
Yeah. As we see now, these players getting ready for the second game.
They definitely need a mental reset.
They need a mental reset for sure. Maybe a few games of Block Blast on the phone.
Yep.
A little bit of
Lodel, the daily Lodel.
Yeah, a little Lodel.
The fans looking very pleased. Union of Knots. Jay-Z. Yes, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Mid gap. I gotta be honest. So far, I would say more. It's not just one lane at the minute.
Yeah. But hey, let's talk about that mid lane.
Yeah, true. Actually, it was very, that Talia was really, really clean. Actually, engaging, coming in on that ultimate at the right time.
Yeah.
And just a couple of knockups were just fantastic, and them stuns.
Throughout the early to mid game as well, Talia played very, very well, not dying at all. Keeping the CS up, and while still being useful around the map. Yeah, great play there by the Talia. I love to see it. And on the other side, the Orianna.
Yeah,
I like the Orianna pick.
I did like the Orianna pick. I think there's, there was potential there. Obviously, the Shockwave is a very valuable ultimate. It's very, very nice.
And I definitely think a few good opportunities there being created by the Orianna, but just not enough for the team to follow up with. Yeah, it's hard to judge the NTU side on that game role by role because kind of the whole team was a little bit lacking, I would say.
But I think there's definitely, there's... to be honest, I think Surge King, they did get a kill. They just pretty much stayed in that bot lane. They weren't able to do much. They just tried to farm their way out of that massive gold deficit.
Yeah, massive gold deficit.
A bit like a certain UK economy kind of thing. A bit of a budget deficit going on. But it's just, I think when you're so far behind, it's just impossible to come back. It's better to just go, okay, we're not going to win this game. GG's go next. We'll lock in for the next game. We've got a plan. We'll strategize around that. And I think that's what NTU they should. Well, I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. To be even considered of winning the next game. And now speaking of the next game, let's talk about the drafts and what we would like to see moving forward here. Let's just start from the top. Lane.
I think you want something like an on. That's just going to set in the turret, because coming up against, an ex-challenger player, I think you just got to sit in the turret and just farm as much as possible. Try not to lose early.
Yeah, that's
And I think that's genuinely, like, that one can help the team later on. And I think if you just play that sort of scaling composition, I think that could really benefit NTU.
Yeah, but hey, Remy as well, probably the best player on the team.
Yeah.
They're probably going to look to play another carry-ish top laner, which I like to see, but also with those type of top laners, it could be a coin flip, right?
Absolutely.
That Jax could have very easily went 0-3 in the first 10 minutes and just been useless. Well, not useless, but less impact on the rest of the game.
But I think if you're Rami, I think just keep doing what you're doing.
Just be you,
There's no pressure on you.
Yeah. As you see, that Teemo ban
And the Tarek as well, and the Neferi ban as well. So Hoodie will not be able to play that Neferi this game. Now NTU being blue side this time round, I believe, yes, will be.
That Teemo ban, I mean, you just gotta take out.
Yeah, you just have to. I mean, if that's what he's doing on Jax, what on earth is he going to do on that Teemo?
Yeah.
He's going to be, probably most of the NTU players will be waking up and that Teemo is there.
That Teemo
constant reminder.
Yeah. The sleep paralysis demon.
Absolutely. We are just going to see constant target bans for
Kane again.
Hoodie, Kane and Neferi. It's just, they're making life pretty difficult for Hoodie in that jungle position.
Yeah. Hey, I am a Kane one trick and I would love to see it. The Bard ban, I think very wise there because Bard was very, very powerful in
Absolutely.
Nemi's hand.
I think, to be honest though, you can... Remini, I'm sure that his pool is very vast and wide, and he'll be able just to pull out anything out of the book. Imagine some Rel, Leona, even some Nautilus kind of gameplay.
I do know they are very strong on both the Rel and the Leona, both very strong supports in games like this. And you can see kind of how much they're in Nottingham Trent's head, right? 2 bans going into the support.
Oh,
Pantheon now.
The Pantheon. I believe that could be a Pantheon top. And that Mbessa being banned in the meantime, taking away one of Hazard's best champions with a 60% win rate this season across 27 games. So that is a bit of a blow for Hazard, but he picked first. He's got that Pantheon. That Pantheon is very flexible. You can play support, mid, top, even jungle as well.
Great peel into the mid late game. I think Pantheon is one of those champions that could potentially fall off in the late game. It all depends on how they will play.
Yeah. And the Xin Zhao in the meantime being picked. Again, to be honest, could be flex either that top or jungle. And Ashe being hovered here and will be selected. So now they know what they're up against in the bot lane. How will NTU respond with that?
Yeah, on the Xin Zhao there, Zenza?
Yeah.
We do know he's very good on Xin Zhao. He does have quite a lot of matches on him. So, and hey, I like seeing Xin Zhao as well. Xin Zhao very engage heavy and good.
Lulu.
Ooh, okay.
Did take a bit of a nerf, if I'm not mistaken, in the last patch. So it's it's fine. You can still run with the Lulu. Very, very good. I'm sure they'll probably pair it with something like the Jinx, which would be pretty decent for that Jinx,
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Lulu is quite the support they're looking for here, especially paired to that Pantheon.
The Moors, okay. Potentially we could see the San Uzal skin being selected here, which I'd love to see because I do have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I didn't know you were degenerate. Okay, sorry. No. But hey, maybe a Pantheon jungle? Pantheon in the jungle?
Pantheon jungle, I think, even the Moor jungle, I know it's quite out there and not really seen in high elo, but the Moor jungle could be there. The Vayne potentially going in that top lane. Vayne just shreds that Moor, if I'm honest.
And we do know Remy is, he likes his, range top lanes, the Teemo, the Quinn, so...
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for that Moor to sort of farm, so no matter what, whether it's the Pantheon or that Moor, they are going to struggle.
With the bans, we can't see the Jinx bans coming in here, probably because of that Lulu being chosen.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I think you probably should have picked the Jinx first, if I'm honest.
I agree.
You already know what the ADC is going to be playing. The Braum, the Braum in the meantime being picked, I think that's, the slows.
Yeah.
If you have an Ashe Braum, you are not moving anywhere. There's no how much tenacity you can have, how many Merc treads, just no moving.
Will be no moving. Yeah, you'll just be slowed constantly.
Rel being banned, so obviously taking away some of Remini's best.
Some maybe like 4 bans, you know, 4 bans to
try and get rid of a support. I mean, to be honest, Remedy is in everyone's heads at the moment.
It just shows
even in ours, to be honest. We're just blown away by that. Just support performance. The macro is insane. I can't say enough of it. But moving on now, it is Uni of Knots selection. Oh yes! Oh yes! They're picking the Kench. I am a happy man. They've unbenched the Kench, ladies and gentlemen. This has made me very, very happy. I am a Tom Kench OTP. I can't wait to see this in action. That Ashe paired with that Kench in that bot lane, they've got really good engage, they've got really good disengage, and they've got really, really good slow as well. That Q slow from the Kench followed up by the Ashe. And you know, if that Ashe is in such trouble, be able to eat her away and just run. And
I knew you were going to be ecstatic. As soon as Tom Kench got picked, I just kept my mouth shut. I'm like, this is your time to shine.
I can't. Usually I wouldn't take shield. I usually take Flash Ignite, I've got to be honest. But we'll see how they sort of line up with that.
Yep.
But the Varus and Akshan though, very nice. Varus Lulu? How does that sort of fare up into the Kench Ashe bot lane?
Oh, it all depends on skill, but the Kench Ashe is looking scary, I cannot lie. More so than the Varus Lulu, I think. But hey, Varus Lulu, a lot of damage there, and Lulu, hey, could be good on the peeling, and
Ahri being selected there as well.
Yeah, on the last day. I wasn't expecting that because Seb, you know, plays a lot of Ahri.
Decent drafts, I'd say. I mean,
decent drafts for sure.
I very much enjoyed that draft from Medium Knots. A lot more than the previous ones, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Just because of the Kench. The Kench has just made
the Kench has won your heart. You know, the Kench has won your heart.
If I don't see this Kench go either full AP or full tank, I'm gonna be really upset. I better see a Rocket Bout Kench in the first 25 minutes of the game. If there's no Rocket Bout, pretty much past like mid game, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Rocket Bout, yeah.
Interesting.
That's the Watley build.
Wow.
Rocket Bout, something like Zonya's. It's crazy.
Yeah, that tongue is gonna be dealing damage, you know.
you gotta pull off the one-shot combo.
And with the Ahri as well, we saw Ahri getting some nerfs in the previous patch, as Riot deemed her a little bit too overpowered with the Rod of Ages and Leon's build that she was going for a long time. So we saw a lot of a decrease in base scaling in her AP, but well, not like the base AP scaling, but more AP scaling with her items to try to force the players to be more aggressive on her build, like a more aggressive build, and put her in that more vulnerable situation, which I would like to see. That makes Ahri more of a high risk, high reward champion. I like that, and I think that's the champion that Ahri should be.
Agreed. Now, how do you think that sort of fares up that Ahri? Obviously into the Akshan.
Into the Akshan, two range matchups.
Yeah.
So you know, there's that to start off with. Akshan, where did I even start with Akshan? The freaky guy with the freaky smile.
Yeah. With the res, you know.
Yeah, with the res. I think you can't go wrong with Akshan in a situation like this, especially in the mid to late game. Akshan is just, as long as he doesn't get one shot in the beginning of the fight, he's gonna be useful throughout.
Absolutely.
Both the Ahri as well. If the Ahri builds a good lead, dude, that Akshan's gonna be out of the game. Like, no problem. Like, I do think Ahri is quite good into that Akshan. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I've got to agree. I'm just going to agree with you, Chan, because I feel like this really comes down to how well both players sort of know their champions and how well they're going to sort of they know their limits kind of thing. And, you know, Hadley, not usually a mid laner on that Akshan. I haven't seen much of it. Don't really know what to expect. So I think that potentially this will be just bit of a stalemate kind of thing. Both players sort of testing their limits.
Kind of what we saw last game?
Kind of, yeah.
Let's say mid lane here as we move into the game. Alright, the Vayne top is
it already
gonna be scary. It's Akshan top, Pantheon mid. Okay.
Okay,
What a
more
switch up.
jungle.
Yeah, more jungle. You were right on that prediction.
Interesting.
Wow, definitely interesting draft from
Definitely
Trent here.
throw us off.
Can't
And the
say
high
I'm the
noon
biggest fan,
Ken
but-
skin, I have to approve, except I have the green chroma. Oh, and it's a Sanuzal Mordekaiser skin as well. A lot of lore being dropped here out on the Rift. Sanuzal obviously being based off Genghis Khan. That's pretty much, that's the
probably-
description.
Yeah, I'm probably related to Genghis Khan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm, you know,
I think
Chinese.
1 in 10 men are related to Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely related to Genghis Khan. I got that Genghis Khan blood in me. That's what I'm talking about. I see now minions coming in. Quick trades coming in here from mid lane. What is this
This
going to be like now?
changes
Yeah,
yeah.
this changes a lot.
I think-
Pantheon against Ari.
The Pantheon early game will probably look a little bit more stronger.
Yeah, for sure.
We just potentially could land onto that Ari with a W once it's available.
See Tom Kench now already putting all the pressure.
Already putting on the pressure by missing that Q,
Yep.
getting rid of 25% of his mana bar. There we go, does land, does get a stack onto Surge King, but they're gonna have to play a little bit more slower here, obviously NTU, because the poke is just too strong. That Kench Q is, people underestimate how much damage it does, and obviously when Kench lands it, he heals, so you need to be careful, especially within them fights.
And as the scoreline is already 102 UoN. If UniOff wins this game again, they will just take it.
Absolutely, it is best of 3 match, and
So
you know,
stakes are on now for NTU. You know,
Absolutely.
they really gotta show up.
do you go for the clean sweep, like just the clean 4-0 if you're UniOff, or do you just take the foot off the pedal a little bit, just relax, enjoy a bit of
Enjoyable fun
farming
league.
simulator,
Yeah.
a bit of League of Legends,
I mean,
just
I
on the
have to
side
say,
kind of thing.
With the draft, I think we are probably going for a little bit more of a laid back
Yeah,
style, you know, especially with that main top as well. It's quite fun.
just
pick.
look, yeah. I mean, the action top really threw me off.
Yeah, completely.
Both junglers just finishing their
We can see
their
top lane
paths.
here.
Yeah.
Basically, bot lane again. No support.
Q from the Pantheon not gonna land. I do think this composition suits NTU just a little bit better. Now look at the vision already that Remini has put down. They are gonna walk up here, but he's in a spot of bother. The Kench knockup's there, but does use the E to just pull them away. But unfortunately, the Xin Zhao is just gonna be there, follows up with a Q, and that'll be First Blood heading over to Uni of Knots.
That was a lovely Q flash there, E flash there from Josh.
Oh, the Pantheon W
Pulling
just
them
takes
back.
a little bit too damage. Somehow loses that trade. Not ideal for Hadley there.
Yeah, but you know that Pantheon, especially in the late game with the empowered Q execute, is gonna be scary.
Emily just gonna keep poking away with that Kench Q.
Emily's definitely, you know, the Tom Kench support is definitely putting on more pressure than that Lulu for sure.
It's just so much pressure in that bot lane. You can't really step up and farm. It's been one of them sort of in that bot lane. Nemini is just. It's just been fantastic. You mean, look at the vision early on, bit of trading going on, but the knock-up, does manage to land. Surge King falling really, really low, does pop the shield as well. The hand is there, and Nemini finds the kill, gets the stack, needs to run away, but it's good play by HadPX, roaming already. The W able to escape, needs to, does dodge the
sidestep on
Q.
the Q
Good
there.
play by Nemini to survive there. Does take the kill as well.
Nice little 1-for-1 trade there.
Will recall. Good play by... Oh, Nemini stays. Fierce had PX. Will eventually go back to the fountain.
Ooh, the Vayne taking down Akshan there will add a point towards their feat of strength. That's already 3 kills.
Yeah, I mean,
already 3 kills.
Sebula just farming already, and 3 kills. Feat of strength over to NTU. I'm sorry, Uni of Knots.
Oh yeah,
The switch right. over to Uni of Knots. It's a good start for them. Now, Sebula just gonna keep clearing waves, gonna just chill out, and that is a Chemdrake coming up for well, on the Rift. I mean, Uni of Knots, they need this because it's going to be it's just so much value to Nemini, especially when, you know, it works well with the passive, meaning that healing is going to be increased by an extra 6%, and the shields as well. So both Tahm Kench passives working pretty well with that. And we are going to potentially look for something here. Obviously, the Mordekaiser does do a lot of damage to that Tahm Kench, so you'll have to run away. Will just be a bit of a stalemate here on the bot lane.
Yeah, we can see both junglers on both teams are again very much playing for the bot lanes. Been to bot a few times, you know, but in situations like this, the bot lane is where you want to be playing for. And I like to see
the chains there landing onto Nemini. Just needs to walk away. Will do.
So far, NTU's movement is looking a little bit better than the last game. I like that bot move by Pantheon. Low damage control there.
A little bit of damage control going on, and they're just going to keep pushing this bot wave. Bit of a stalemate going on. Just that's the aim of the game. They're just going to keep pushing. Meanwhile, Zima is starting that Drake potentially. Will get the scuttle first, and to be honest, it's a guaranteed free Drake. I mean, there's not much pressure by NTU at all.
No, Josh currently on you know, on the blue side, across the map here from Drake, and they are going to go for it, I believe. With the bot lane now also moving up
just yet, so not ideal. 4 members now hovering over that Drake pit, and they will look to recall. Remini will take a bit of a hat tip and will just back away. Meanwhile, Mia would just stay to help deal a little bit of damage, which will be smited away. Now, a first Drake heading over to Uni of Knots.
We're going to take a look at this macro movement here, coming in on top lane by that Tahm Kench. Knows that grubs are spawning, you know, already there on the right side of the map, ready to take some control. Getting ready for these grubs. Perfect reset there from Remy, getting back in lane just in time for grubs to respawn. This is the macro we're talking about on Uni offside. You know,
yeah,
this is the macro.
It's so strong. Like, already look at where Remini is. He's put wards down in the top side.
Yeah.
Top blue side, and they're already on the grubs. Uni of Knots. It's just, the Pantheon ultimate from HatPX does force the flash from Mia. Well, back away.
That will give a lot to Uni off, you know.
And now there's no pressure now, which means they'll be able to push that mid wave in, potentially get a plate, and now they have the grubs as well. NTU just on the wrong side of everything at the moment.
Yeah.
A bit of a replay of this earlier fight. Good play by Remini, manages to secure the kill. HatPX will get 1, followed up from that. But good play by Remini here. Manages to pop the E at the right time and just sidesteps that Q.
On the final Q, yeah.
The more passive propped up.
Nice,
but he's going to keep walking forward, dealing a lot of damage. Does have full bar of shield. Will just back away a little bit. Will get charmed in the meantime, but look how tanky he is. Does have the ultimate available. We'll just not use it. We'll back away. Hoodie, just to be honest, I think Hoodie's got to be sort of that key player in this, like just in this team. He's quite tanky. They don't have a lot of, you know, anti-tank stuff apart from that Vayne.
Yeah.
But that Vayne is just chilling topside most of the time, not really coming down at all.
Yeah. But so again, with Hoodie on the Mordekaiser, you know, and during the team fights, he will be able to isolate maybe the carries, and you know, that could really switch up the play here.
Oh, does get found by Zimmer, and that's just it's just domination.
Yeah, maybe a lack of vision there.
Lack of vision, and to be honest,
on the top
I can see why, because look how many wards are there. Remini's just been topside, cleared every single blue ward, and basically made that top blue side their own. It's
as we see a lead building now to Uni of 10 minutes in, 1-4 scoreline. We see that lead in the jungle forming again, and the top lane.
Absolutely, the grubs definitely being a big part of that. The objectives just falling in the way of Uni of Knots. Scuttle being taken here by Mia. And look at where Remini is. He's just wandering. The whole map is Remedi's map.
See,
Meanwhile-
that shows, you know, support has a lot of impact right now, and if played correctly, you know, it can really change up the game. And to me, so far, like, they are definitely my MVP.
Indeed. Now Hazard heading topside, probably potentially going to look for a bit of a gank on Rami. PX is there waiting in that bush silently.
And we can see Seb here also moving towards the bot lane.
Oh, Rami testing the waters, does probably have vision. They know.
They know. They just know. They always
just
know.
So aware.
They smells it.
Oh, but in the meantime, Remi's just gonna step forward. Surgeon's gonna absolutely just explode.
Yeah, perfect.
And it's going to be Uni of Knots once again just cleaning house.
Yeah, making that play, and finishing it off. We saw Seb there moving down towards bot lane slowly, and the play did play off for them there. Now, a convincing lead for the Ashe.
They will look to recall here, Mia and Nemini, and it's looking pretty dire already for NTU.
Yep. Tolman is in.
3k gold diff already is not what you want. In the meantime, the W onto Sebula. It's not going to be enough. The Akshan ultimate could potentially finish off. No, but Zima's there, and it's good play. Meanwhile, Hazard does manage to find the kill. Will find Sebula, but will pay the price. And Hoodie's there just to try and slow down, but the knockup's there from Nemini, and the follow-up from Zima. Zima dealing so much damage. Will find the kill onto Hoodie. Zima on fire at this point in the game, and he's just... There's nothing NTU can do. There's just nothing.
Yeah,
There's just nothing you can do.
On the action there, did you see that dive?
I saw that dive.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they got the kill.
I mean, it got the kill, but
don't know if it's worth, but
probably not worth. No, because to be honest, out of all the laners, out of all the players, in the meantime, there's another kill coming.
Another play.
It happens so fast. Nemi's just gonna walk underneath turret, tank it a little bit while the Ashe steals up, and Zima's there, manages to find the kill. But the shutdown, however, for PX does find the kill onto Zima. Oh, but the knockup manages to miss. But the slow is there, and Sebula's there to plot their revenge, and will find the kill. It's just too strong at the minute for Uni of Knots.
The players on Uni of Nottingham just know where to be at the right time. Seb here, great movement all out the game, throughout the game. Nemi again, moving absolutely amazingly.
And maximum plates coming in on that bot side as well.
Yep.
Sebula just going to try and contest that mid, going to stop the push of Hoodie in that mid lane. But in the meantime, Rami does manage to find off Hazard once again. Hasn't died this game at all, Rami. 2 kills, 1 assist. Does have the Berserkers online, working towards that Bork. It's just looking very, very strong.
I didn't expect anything less from him.
No, absolutely not. Just so clean as well.
Yeah, the lead on the bot lane there grew very, very quickly from just those 2 plays. Ashe getting both the kills. Yeah, 4-1 lead to the bot lane as well. Before that fight, actually we almost saw everybody but Seb in the mid lane to have a shutdown on Uni offside, which was quite hilarious to see. Not even 15 minutes yet, but Herald's gonna spawn very soon. We can see Remy now looking to back, hopefully coming back in time for the Herald.
And it's gonna be another Drake, a Hextech Drake heading over to Uni of, and they will take this bot turret. It's just, they're cleaning house already. Bot turret gone immediately. Zima takes another Drake and potentially could get a kill. Oh, the Q lands! And it's going to be Nemini. Does manage to get the kill, potentially will pay the price.
Yeah, a little bit too
Doesn't manage
ambitious
to
there,
get
but I respect it.
the E in time, but the shutdown onto Nemini for Surge King. And, you know, the shutdowns eventually, they could come in handy. But Sebula will dash away.
Oh, nice.
Manages to just get out of range of the action ultimate.
Oh, perfect.
And we'll just recall with, if I'm not mistaken, the Faker Ari skin.
That's right.
This potentially could be a bit of gold heading over to NTU if they manage to get this turret, but look who's there. It's Mia, ready to contest, clearing that wave as quick as possible. And
yeah,
the slow there, but in the meantime, Zima really, really low. HadPX doing a lot of damage, will find a kill. HadPX is slowed, but won't be able to land onto Mia. Mia taking so much damage. Nemeny's there with the knockoff. Doesn't manage to land a Q onto Hazza. Hazza will just be able to live by the skin of their teeth. And it's going to be Hoodie going down, paying the price, just trying to make sure that Hazza lives, but it's not going to be to any avail. And Rami, now starting to roam, does have 3 kills and the upgraded Berserker boots
looking
as well.
Unstoppable right now. In the beginning of the game, we were talking a lot about how NTU could respond to this. But
Potentially could look for a bit of a tower dive here.
yeah,
They're going to try and push that wave in. No, probably just going to back away. We'll look to recall.
yeah, we're talking. Ooh,
Oh, HadPX is stunned and
instantly
slowed
stunned
Mia.
there.
No.
BMA coming in here. I mean, they deserve it. They have been stomping. Yeah, both of these games.
But look in the bot side. Once again, Rami is a fiend for them turrets, just pushing waves, doing exactly what
top laner should do.
Yeah, literally a top laner, just a side laner should just be pushing these waves when everyone else is occupied. In the meantime, the Rift Herald is up and available, and it's a bit of a bounty, but Mia somehow lives.
So close there.
Needs to recall. Does not want to overextend
The perfect wall
stay.
coming in here from the Tom Ken, saving Mia's life. Yeah, we spoke a lot about how NTU was going to adapt into UniOff's gameplay, but we didn't really speak about how UniOff was going to adapt into NTU's gameplay.
Absolutely.
As you see, they're on a roll this game. The movements across the map even better than last, arguably.
Zima
right here.
just going to take that Rift Herald, but he's in the bush, potentially could go for a bit of a steal. But then Mia's there as well, so gonna look pretty just not gonna contest it. They're probably just not gonna have a chance, and that'll be Rift Herald heading over. Zima will probably just get away stock free, if I'm honest.
Yeah, not managed to find an opening there. Even with 2 people.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look in the mid lane. Mia is there once again, just probably gonna look for something. Nemeny's going on a little bit of a flank. Hoodie.
Remy here pressuring.
Oh, yeah, just pressuring
the bot lane.
Pressure. Potentially could go for HadPX. No, just gonna keep.
HadPX
just gonna course the wave into Rami, and we'll get a pedal along the way as well. It's just the macro is just so strong. Nemeny is just going around, looking at waves, going, can there be a bit of a tower dive here? Let's push this wave in. Let's see. No, I'm just gonna go to another wave. I'm gonna try it there.
That's what I like to see from a support player, not just acting as a protection for the ADC, but acting as a playmaker and somebody to open up opportunities for the whole team. I think that's what separates a good and bad support player.
Absolutely. It's just a bit of a stalemate in this game. Just waiting for the next set of objectives, which will be Drake coming up, and Atakan as well.
So far, quite deja vu I'm getting right now, 20 minutes into the game's 3 towers, 2 UniOff with none on NTU again. And I think we're going to be back at that stage of the game where UniOff is going to look to play very safe, look for that opportunity, and not going to force a fight that they know they could lose, because even though they got a strong lead right now, a lost fight could swing the pendulum just a tiny bit towards Trent's side, and we have seen many teams lose a lead like this before, so it is important for UniOff to stay on the toes and make the right plays as we see them taking the dragon.
That Drake, and they will get their first turret. NTU, bit of a gold heading, well, a lot of gold heading their way actually, because it was a massive objective bounty for them. So, some positives. It will potentially, they're probably not going to push this wave in. Obviously, it will be contested by Sebula. Oh, never mind. Sebula gets a bit too cocky. Will look to rush away
on Mordekaiser.
Oh, but Hoodie's so low, needs to back away. Does tank, bit of a turret, and there it is. A good play by Hazza. Manages to swing around that tower and does find the kill. Good play by NTU. And that top side will get the second top turret. That's good play by NTU. That's a lot of gold heading their way.
For sure, that was a
Closing
smart
the deficit
decision
a
there.
little bit.
Smart decision to not contest Dragon, rather going for that top push. Will land them 2 towers and a healthy chunk of gold. We can see now in the bot lane, Remy and Nzemia pressuring.
Had PX under that turret, just able to stay
Herald.
safe. The Rift Herald coming up straight away. Has a
Lurking.
potentially gonna look for something. They
hoodie.
need to get rid of that Rift Herald as quick as possible, and it will go down.
Remy now has spent
Remy,
quite a lot of
yeah.
time pressuring this tower, but has yet to fall.
Zima on that red buff is found, is spotted. We'll just try and leash it away and continue taking it.
Yeah, I would say the spread right now is, you know, not looking great on NTU. I think the players could be definitely moving a lot better. We can see, you know,
They are
quite maybe indecisive in the movement. Not quite
yeah,
sure
they're a bit
what to
penned
look
in,
for.
but then PX goes in. The Ash Arrow does land.
Early Atacant.
Zima is just, they just run away. And in the meantime, Nemini flashes away from the Mordekaiser E, and potentially they'll probably look to just maybe leave here at the minute. I mean, there's no real pressure on them to just kind of stay and fight.
And this is the macro difference I'm talking about, right? Because as UniOff was making all that pressure in the bot lane, we can see Seb pushing the top wave here, creating another opportunity for the team. As they crash the wave, with Seb looking to cause some trouble in the jungle.
And just probably just going to look to clear waves when and where they can.
And see that
Dive
Seb
not really
that
working out.
opportunity for the bot lane tower, but to go down.
Another tower going the way of Uni of Not. They're just trying to just slowly work this game into existence. I mean, like, into non-existence first.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, realistically, you just have to wait till Baron, who's up in 2 minutes. Just one Baron would probably see this game out, and that's exactly how they saw the last game out.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you can't fight these champions when they're so far ahead. Look at the amount of ions compared to Uni of Not. It's just not, you know, Eclipse and Cleaver versus 3 items on the side of NTU already. Sorry, Uni of Not already. But meanwhile, Surge King does go down, and Hoodie as well. 1 minute 45 on Baron. They're just probably going to look to claim this mid turret. Not much of a wave to push it in with though. So there is time to just stall a little bit.
They don't have the manpower. Like NTU is just, I think they really
They're
need to
really
be
scared.
on their toes
Nemini
more.
over the wall, misses the Q. Will probably look to 1v1 Hat BX. Will probably win actually. To be
That
honest.
is actually crazy.
And in the meantime, the turret going down for Uni of Not, and Mia just going to be able to get a couple of kills. Sebula falling really, really low. Mia
Just doing a lot of good
back
damage.
away, and it's just not going to be enough. Look at this Vayne, how fed this Vayne is. 4 kills to 0 deaths. Oh, but in the meantime, it's a good ultimate.
Only
It's
Surge
fine.
King and
The
Hoodie left
shutdown.
now to defend the base.
The shutdown onto, I believe, onto Mia is nice for Surge King. Could potentially get them a bit of gold back. And Sebula, oh my goodness, the damage there, just deleted. In the meantime, Zima goes back in, and the knock up there from Nemini. Not going to find it, but Sebula over the wall, and this potentially could be Uni of Not seeing this game out. No, they'll just back away. Not really a big wave to push it in with, though. They do have Baron coming up very shortly, and potentially Soul.
Yeah, ambitious
coming up
ult
as
there,
well.
coming in from Hoodie onto the Tom Kench, leaving Surge King on his own on that Barris. You know, maybe not the best move. And as we saw as well, as soon as Hoodie came out of his ult, he just, you know, everybody on UniOff was ready, and he just got taken down instantly.
Absolutely. I mean, they're probably just going to look for this Soul first, and then if they do win a really big fight here, they'll probably just quickly hop over the mid lane and just go straight to that Baron. It is going to be the Infernal Soul coming in here. A lot of bonus adapted damage, and they're already dealing a lot of damage. They're going to deal so much more after this Soul.
Look at the way that they're pressuring in the red side jungle.
Had PX caught in no man's land, not going to be ideal, and Hoodie going down as well. Did he even need the Drake? As after this, they're probably just going to push this wave in and look to end.
Yeah, they're just not even gonna bother taking that dragon.
A dominant performance by Uni of Knots. Credit where credit is due. They've been absolutely fantastic. Hazard not able to get away. Oh, does manage to.
Just barely.
And this, they're just waiting for a wave. They're probably just going to look to tank a little bit here. That Tom Kench, very, very tanky at the minute. Look to get the turret damage in, and it will get onto Hazard. Hazard going down, and it's going to be Uni of Nottingham with a clean sweep in this Esports Varsity. 4-0. 4-0.
Every single game.
I mean, every single game, a clean sweep. Pretty much hardly any competition apart from that Marvel Rivals game earlier on. And credit where credit is due. Fantastic performance by Uni of Nottingham.
Yeah, they really showed us what's up today. And come on, make your noise for the champion today, Uni of Nottingham.
Just fantastic. You know, in that last game there, things just, they didn't need the Baron, they didn't need the Drake to finish. They just literally just swooped through, killed all of them, and then that was it.
Yeah.
They were just so far ahead, and it is a bit unfortunate for the side of NTU, but they were just so strong on the side of Uni of Nottingham.
Yeah, you know, NTU there, there was just a lot lacking. You know, the macro around the map was definitely improved that game, I believe. There was a lot more better moves being played, but even on the team fighting side, there was no coordination on the team at all, allowing Uni off to really pick them off one by one every single team fight.
It was almost like they were just constantly scared of just everyone and anything, you know, like you either just full commit or you just don't commit, and I think often not, they just didn't commit at all, and I think that backfired a little bit, and you know, they were just so strong.
That was a nice E-flash there on the Mordecai, just dragged them away, but you know, not enough for this for him to live.
Yeah, it's just very.
Yeah,
I mean, this fight here potentially, you know, credit for Anemone just getting in and getting that kill, but had PX arriving at the right time. Good little bit of play there for NTU, but it's just not enough. Anemone living here, it's not ideal. It could have been quite an easy kill, but the flash and the ghost. I mean, you're just not going to escape that.
There we go, Seb here. This was a nice move by Seb. We saw it coming on the map. And another reason to that is, you know, the vision game on Uni Off was so much better than NTU. NTU was really lacking on the vision there, allowing for these plays being made. Here we go, Mia causing some trouble in the bot side. Wow, look at that Tom Kench. That's what we like to see,
Unfortunate
right?
not to go down. Just really good play overall by Uni of Knots. Just dominant.
Yeah, had
sheer dominance.
This in the queue. That was a good, yeah. And here was the final fight that we saw. As you can see, not, you know, they were just getting picked off one by one. I mean, at that stage of the game, I do believe it was, you know, the enemy team
Very good performance.
Yeah, clean performance. That's what I expected.
Fantastic.
Good luck, good luck.
We got millions of reasons to let it all go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh my goodness, what a performance by Uni of Nottingham. What a performance. I mean, sheer dominance coming from them. If they'd like to join me back onto the stage. I mean, first thing I'd like to say, thank you so much for playing that Tom Kench. Honestly, I love Tom Kench, but I love it. But just coming into this, how confident were you guys?
Well, the Tom Kench was actually a complete random pick because we didn't actually select anything. So I think we were pretty nonchalant today.
Very good, very good. Obviously, just throughout the game, you were pretty much on top. I mean, the macro was insane. Just how'd you get that good? Like, obviously you're a UKL player. Just how do you get that good?
Just grinding, no life. That's it, really.
Grinding, no life. What an answer. But, you know, coming into this, Uni of Knots have just full swept this entire varsity. Do you think you guys will do it again next year?
Yeah, surely. It's got to happen.
Do you think there's going to be any competition from NTU next year?
Maybe there'll be some good freshers. You know.
True, true, true. And I think that will conclude our interview. Thank you guys so much. Give it up for Uni of Nottingham, everybody.
To see you again, see you
I would like to say a massive thank you to our audience and our online viewers as well. This has been the Esports Varsity 2025. Thank you and goodbye.